So let's get to it. I mean, the screenplay, which if you want to do the competition, you'll be sent a screenplay such as this. I just want to give a few tips. For example, there'll be two screenplays. There'll be one for a male character and there'll be one for a female character. And let's start with the male character, Jax Juma. For example, the first dialogue part is, and the thing is, like, if you see the first part of the script in the description box, this gives you an idea of the character. So please pay attention to this part because it gives you an idea of how to portray your character when doing the monologue. Feel free to use props. You can look at last year's edition and see how they did it. Yeah, so for example, Benson. I really don't know what he does right now. This character is in a therapist session, so he's talking to his therapist. But because it's a monologue, we'll never see the therapist. We'll just be seeing his reactions to the therapist. So a tip here is, whenever he's reacting to the therapist, maybe you could look off camera and assume that the therapist is that person we don't see. And the minute you jump back into the main monologue, you look into the camera as I am doing so right now and continue speaking. Another tip is, unless this is rare that you're talking to many people, always imagine you're talking to one person, as is the case here. So for example, he responds to the therapist, so you probably look off camera and say, oh, Benson, really? Well, I've not heard from Benson in a while. And then you jump back in, you look into the camera, and here he sips coffee. Again, in the brackets, you have actions that help you make your monologue more real, more believable. So you could use a prop, sip your coffee, and go ahead and say, I understand that he went into politics. Well, I don't know what he's doing right now, but I believe he got into a squabble with some political enemies. I know I'm not the best actor, but this guide should help you. So I guess that is it for this kind of thing. And another thing is, again, with the other screenplay, like we have for Miss Nduti, which is the female character, you'll notice again, she's in the studio, that's the setup. She's talking to a news anchor. Whenever she jumps into her rant, because there's a part she rants, my band and I had a solid gig, sold out at G's in West. You're looking into the camera. But then again, when she curses and then she turns to the news anchor, oh, oops, I'm sorry, I will not repeat that again. Remember, if you look off camera, it gives more believability to your monologue. I mean, these are just but a few tips. I hope they help. Again, once you apply, you'll be sent these scripts. You will choose one or the other. You can do both, but you'll be obviously tested on one, and the winner will obviously be like kind of judged on their performance on one. So be sure to say which script you'd like to be judged upon. So that's it. I hope these tips help. If you have any more questions, info@maumauarts.org, or just DM us on any of our social media platforms. All the best.